This is part 2 of Elvis Presley, his conversation that he and I were sharing with the world. He says, the company I was with, they went overboard about who's who, excluded me from a lot of things. But discussions was about me. So why couldn't I be included, he says. I had heard that I was to be terminated if I didn't get my shit together, he says. They had drugged me so till I couldn't see straight sometimes. Then they had it right up that I was a druggie, but I wasn't, said Elvis. It seemed to be a scheme. So many were going out like that. I thought it wouldn't hit me, but it did. And they didn't care. Okay, so Elvis goes on to say, he says, let me tell you something about my past so you'll know this is me and she's not making this up. He says, when I was an orphan, I wasn't born to the mother the world knows. And I didn't have a twin. It was written that way on account of they needed the sympathy. So I would be accepted. Because sympathy pays the bills. If I'm well off, people would think I didn't need nothing. So they wouldn't cash in on my sales, record sales. He's well off, some might say. So they went that route. I didn't like it, he says. They took charge of me early. I hated them, said Elvis. It was always about them, like I was a figure taken over. Okay? So he says, you see, showbiz is exactly that. It's to show what they want to show. He says, the truth never makes it in this biz. So I'm glad she's able to record my exact words and nobody else's. It gives me a chance to say my piece, said Elvis, and get it over with, and finally get it out there. I am so grateful, he says. There's nothing like this going on nowhere. Now, when they woke me up, I wasn't groggy, had not been asleep long, just napping. Then it all came clear. They were done with me. I was no longer their friend, he says. My friends would come over, kick it with me. We'd laugh, sing, do all kinds of odd things, just out of fun. We'd swim, dine, basketball, hoops, play tennis, struggle together sometimes, he says. It was hard sometimes. That's what true friends do. But I didn't know they weren't mine. Elvis says, I didn't know they weren't mine till later, when they arrived that night, looking dead-eyed, like they'd kill me for sure. I couldn't even get in. I asked, Bob, is that you? Why are you doing this? Said Elvis. Please go to the next part of this sad story that Elvis is sharing with me, and I'm sharing it with the internet, with the world. I'm Love Herself.